Good morning. My name's Pamela Sylvan, and I'm known as the Mojo Maker in my business life, but I'm now taking on the moniker as Mentor Pam in the van or in a van. I'm not quite sure. I haven't nailed it yet. But for those of you that know and follow me, I mentor women, business women, career women, just to get to that next place in their life. Women coming through the messy middle of their life that need some direction, some motivation, some courage, and confidence. Now, here I am, embarking on a new adventure in my life as a weekend van lifer. Most of the van lifers on YouTube and Instagram, they have taken it on as a full-time gig, either by choice or not. And I think it's a great way to be out there. It's a tiny home on wheels. And one of the wonderful things and aspects about van lifing is the ability to be mobile. And I know for some of you that might be a sort of frightening prospect. You know, you like to have that stability, knowing that that you have a key to that one place. But I have to tell you, and I was one of those people too. But I have been sold on the idea of moving around. Now, even though it's only being done on the weekends right now, from Monday to Sunday, and today's Sunday, and Sundays is always that sort of lower point in the week because you're packing up to go back to your life per se, and you're giving up the outdoors and the adventure and being at one with nature and meeting new and interesting people and having sort of really quirky conversations sometimes, but going back to your life, it's always the sort of low point of the week. And then Friday rolls around and you're all revved up and ready to go and hit the open road to see what you can see and find what you can find. And I think that's the big appeal for me. Not long ago, a decade ago, I made a similar upheaval in my life where I left what was familiar and came out to the other side of the country alone. And here I am doing another upheaval in my life. Although, again, it's only part-time. It's an ability to sort of dip my toe in and see how I take to living in a very small space. But it does force you to make decisions and be intentional about what you have around you, because you can only take certain things with you. How many clothes do you need? How many pairs of shoes do you need to wear? And so on. So it really forces you to come down in what you actually think you need to live comfortably. I'm not asking you to roll around and live under a tree on the wet ground. I mean, this camper van, one day I'll do a van tour, but this camper van is quite cozy and comfortable, and who wouldn't want to be in here as you travel around the countryside, and seeing the beautiful things that are at our doorstep, literally. I'm on Vancouver Island, and you couldn't have a better backdrop for this lifestyle. It's a mainly rainforest, and the ocean is right there, the Pacific Ocean, and there's mountains, and I can go on. Google Vancouver Island and you'll see what it is I'm referring to. There are a few popular van lifers out there that are on the island. I've met up with them, and they wouldn't trade it for the world either. They've traveled across the country and they've gone into other places, and they always seem to head back to Vancouver Island because it has such a cornucopia of things to offer. But I invite you to follow me. I invite you to subscribe to this channel. Yes, I'm new at it, but it's because I'm new at it where the fun will begin. I'm going to run into some things that I haven't run into before. You don't see many people that look like me as a female and a visible minority, which is going to be part of the fun of all of this. I see people looking at me when I come into the campgrounds. It's like, oh, I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's just an interesting thing. And we always hone in on things that we don't normally see. I mean, I'd stare at me too. But what can I say? This van life adventure is now part of me. It's seeped into my bones, and I invite you to consider it. I invite you to, even if you can't own a camper van, I'm sure you can rent a camper van. There are camper van companies that I see people pulling up into campgrounds with. So it's something you can check out and see how you take to it. And the nomad lifestyle, whether full-time or part-time, has been around for thousands of years. It's nothing new, but I think it's only become this huge appeal because of social media and YouTube and Instagram, where people are doing tours of their van and taking you along for the ride via their cameras. So check it out. It's a different way to experience yourself, and that's really why I'm here as a mentor, specifically to women. I'm this is another way to experience yourself and to ratchet up that courage and confidence and get out there and do things that you're normally not used to doing. And while I'm out here, I'm going to share some thoughts and put down some questions for you to answer and share my wisdom and the things that I found that has worked beautifully for me, and things that I'm learning in ways that I've failed and fallen down too. Life is a roller coaster. It's not a straight shot to success as a lot of people think. So subscribe to my YouTube channel, and every week I will be sharing a new road trip with you. Today we were out in French Beach on Vancouver Island, a great place, great campgrounds, some nice trails, and of course the Pacific Ocean, and you just can't beat that. So come along for the ride. Well, it's Friday, and it's quickly become my most favorite day of the week. And I know Fridays historically is everyone's favorite day of the week because it means the weekend for a lot of people. Not everybody, but for a lot of people. But for me, it means back on the road again, back to van life again, back to adventure and seeing some new things and running into new people and places and just relaxing. So we'll see what this weekend brings. Back from a long trail ride, or trail walk I should say, but I just want to spend a moment to share a thought that I had with you, is to what to do to change your mind about your life. You know, we get stuck in places that just don't feel good, and we tend to stay there because we just either can't figure out what to do to change it, or we are too afraid to change it. But you know what, guys? Just choose something. Just choose something. And I know a lot of you will say, "Oh, easy for you to say, Pamela. You're living the dream. You're doing the van life, and you're traveling all over the place, and you seem to have options." And yeah, but there was a time I didn't have options. But what I did have was the foresight to dream ahead. I was in my corporate job, in my corporate office. It looked like I was living the dream based on what was happening there, but in my heart I was just suffering. And I'll never forget, I was staring out the window and looking at the horizon and wishing and hoping that I could be road tripping, and I had no idea how that could or would look like. And remember, this was 2 decades ago, when the van life thing wasn't part of the internet world yet. We weren't into the whole YouTube thing yet, or Instagram thing, and we weren't really seeing people being nomads. I mean, the nomad lifestyle has been around forever, but it's become a thing because of Instagram and YouTube. So I had no idea how I was going to fall into that. But all I knew is I wanted to hit the open road. Well, you know what they say, watch what you wish for. My life just tumbled through a whole series of events, some fortunate, some unfortunate, but I stuck with it and I went with the flow. And here I am every weekend. By the time Friday hits, boom, I'm on the road on another van life adventure. And so it's a matter of choosing what you want. A lot of people don't want to choose what they want because they figure it won't happen. Well, just remember, as a creator, you choosing is only half the job. Life takes over the rest. Your job is just to be clear and settle on something. All right. So anyways, I'm going to get back to cutting up these veggies here, and I'll see you on the outside. So there you have it. Tonight's dinner. Vegetable stir fry, chicken breast, and some mac and cheese. Quick, wholesome, outdoorsy food on a rainy day on the campground and beach. Over there is the Pacific Ocean, and this is just a trail going down to the beach. I think it's a little bit of a hike down to it based on where I am to where the beach is way over there. But it's a downward hike. This is going to be interesting. Oh, I see some stairs over there. But what I'm really liking are these old mossy trees. Just love the color and the texture. Look at this. Gorgeous. I say gorgeous a lot. I get that from my daughter, I think. Everything is gorgeous. But it is gorgeous. Nature, by its very nature, is gorgeous. Look at that. Look at the color. And these ferns everywhere. Parts of this place reminds me of the movie Jurassic Park. Anytime I expect a raptor to come flying around the corner. But unfortunately, that would be a bit of bad news for me. So there you have it. Another Pam in the Van weekend at French Beach on Vancouver Island. Beautiful Vancouver Island. So I'm giving a shout out to all you ladies who are up for adventure in your life. Here's an alternative to that. There are many ways to go out and adventure, but this is my way. And I hope you come and join me every weekend, Friday to Sunday, and sometimes a lot longer, but Friday to Sunday on my YouTube channel. Subscribe, and you can also find me on Instagram at PamelaSylvanMojoMaker. Enjoy.